What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Running a little bit late tonight. Was on the phone with a representative having a conversation about some things that are going on and some things that should be going on and some things that should be happening. But hey, I'm here, back off vacation. Had to go home to Memphis, Tennessee to funeralize my only aunt that was left on my father's side. So we was down there doing, when all of those storms was rolling in, it was right there in Bartlett, Tennessee. Right there. When oh my goodness. My wife and I go to South Carolina. We try to get down to South Carolina every other year. And being down there when the storms roll in, it kind of reminds me of being down south. I'd forgot, not being down south in some of the storms. I forgot what that was like. I'll take a snowstorm any day of the week. I'm good. I used to always be talking about I can't put up with this snow and blah blah blah. Y'all don't know. No. Forget that noise. Any day of the week. I don't care if it's in June or July, it snows, a snowstorm. I can deal. Being down there and what we just went through. My goodness. My goodness. I mean, literally, there was tornadoes. There was tornadoes in Mississippi. There was tornadoes in St. Louis. It was tornadoes all around us. The whole time we was there, when that storm rolled through, that was just, and the wind. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, we've had storms here in Minnesota, correct? We've had storms, and people be talking about thunderstorm and hail, and we've had straight line winds. Ain't nothing like down south. It's nothing like that. If one of those storms came up here and blew through, everything in Minnesota would probably be gone. I'm just saying. So we get down there. Well, I better tell you about my trip. Anyway, so I'm pretty upset at Delta Airlines. I've got a nasty gram that I have sent out to Delta Airlines. Because if you don't know, a lot of people know that I'm on dialysis, right? So I have a machine that I have to hook up to every night. And this is the first time that the wife and I have traveled with this machine. So we kind of didn't know what to expect, but the people at the dialysis center gave me a letter. And in that letter, it says, this is a life-saving device. This is what it says. This is a life-saving device, and it cannot be put into general luggage. It says it right there on the letter. What I have to do with this machine is I go through checkout, they check it out, they do everything they're supposed to do, but I have to take it all the way to the gate. And then once I get to the gate, there's an area where they load fragile equipment, life-saving equipment. That's what was supposed to happen. It didn't happen. I hand these people the letter. They read the letter. They do everything they're supposed to do. And then they turn around and say, well, we can't honor this because it's over 50 pounds. But this is you can't take this device and just throw it around. You just can't do that. You can't be throwing this thing like you do normal luggage. It says it in the letter. It's telling you in the letter. Didn't matter. So And I'm not kidding when I say this. I should have videotaped this. I should have, but I was so upset. I was so upset. I wasn't thinking. It took everything in me for y'all to see me probably on somebody else videoing me going completely off on these people. I mean, I was, yeah. Y'all was about to, yeah. There was about 5 minutes there that if I would have done what I would have done probably about 15 years ago at that counter, y'all would have been like, okay, now that's the Rev that he keeps talking about. That's who he used to be. Y'all would have saw it full bloom. But I'm serious. I'm not kidding when I say this. I stepped away from the counter, grabbed my wife's hand, and we prayed. That's how I got through that. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I'm being totally honest with you. So they took the machine. It comes in a huge. I think I put it on my get up because I got another story for you here in a second too. So they put these fragile stickers all over the case. And I'm not kidding when I say this. That's why I said I should have videotaped this. So when I'm telling you the story, you can see for yourself. But I over and over and over and over again telling them this is a life safety device. Without this device, I don't live. This is what I'm telling them. Without this device, I don't live. So if I don't have this device to plug up to tonight, I'm going to be in some serious trouble. I'm explaining this to Delta. Right there in Minneapolis airport. I'm explaining this to them. They put the stickers on there. This dude, the first one we dealt with was a guy. This dude takes this suitcase that I just finished explaining to him, that it is what keeps me alive. He picks up the suitcase because it's heavy. It is heavy. I mean, the thing weighs about 55, 60 pounds. He picks this thing up, uses his knee to give him leverage for it to come up, and drops it on the conveyor belt. I'm not kidding you when I say that. He put the fragile stickers on the suitcase. Delta Airlines. Like I said, they got a nice little, they got a real, I'll put it this way. I got to say in the email to them what I couldn't say to them in public. I'm just going to put it that way. They put my machine on the conveyor belt with general luggage. So when that luggage goes out to those guys putting that luggage on, do you really think that they're going to look at that? And no matter how many fragile stickers that are on that machine, do you really, really think they're going to honor that? That's why it doesn't go out there, because they know as well as I know and as well as everybody else know that they're not going to honor the stickers on this machine. Then they was going to charge us for it. And it's a life-saving device. It's no different than when they have the when they have to put on the three-wheelers and stuff for people who can't walk. So they're busy, they're looking for this thing on their carts, and they finally find it. They take off there, so they didn't charge us for that, but they charged us for our other get up. So the whole time I'm on this plane, and I'm on pins and needles. Because I'm sitting here going, if I get this thing to the hotel and this thing doesn't work, I'm in trouble. People don't understand. No, I'm in serious, serious trouble. Because before we got there, which is pretty cool, the Fresenius place that I get all my solutions, all my cartridges, everything that they delivered, all of that stuff to the room. Only thing I had to show up with was the machine. Everything else I needed, boom, it was in the room already, ready to go. All right. So I'm sitting here going, seriously, the whole time I'm just praying to God. The whole time, 2.5 hour trip it took us to get down there. I'm just sitting here going, Lord God, this is one of these days that I seriously, seriously need you. I need you to cover that machine until we get to Memphis, Tennessee. We get to Memphis, Tennessee, and you know how the bags come down that carousel, and then they just drop on to the conveyor belt thing? I'm watching this thing come out, bam, hit the carousel. Oh my God. Okay. So finally we get our luggage. We go to because the tickets my wife booked came with, it was a package deal, and you get a car. And the one that popped up with her, which I've never used. Usually we use Enterprise or Avis, one of the two. Those are the only two we ever use anytime we ever travel. But for some reason, this time, our tickets were linked with Dollar Rent-A-Car. Okay, whatever. At this point, I just need a car, right? Seriously. And y'all can see my back and forth with the Dollar Rent-A-Car agents we went back and forth on my Twitter feed as in real time as it was happening. Go look it up. I put it on there. So we get to the we get in. It is now it's just a little after 12. No, it wasn't 12 yet. Because our reservation was 12:20 reservation. So it wasn't 12 yet. So when we get in, we get everything, we walk all the way over there. You got to walk a long ways to get your car. Walk all the way. So by the time we get there, it's like 10 after 12 or something like that. We get to this place, and the Dollar rental place, this lady, we get there, and we were sitting there going, why is all these people just standing around? I mean, there had to be probably about 25 people standing around. So we go up. Wife goes up there because I don't do much. She does all this stuff. I just show up. I'm not kidding. I'm being totally honest with you when I say that. She does a reservation. She takes care of this. I just show up. Where we supposed to be, that's why I go. But she goes up there to talk to this lady, right? And being in the South, people got fuses about that short sometimes. So she goes up there to talk to the lady, tell her, hey, we got our reservation, got a car, we ready to roll. Because we got to get back to, at this point, we got to get to the hotel. Because number one, I've got to check this machine out to make sure it's working. And number two, I've got to hook up at 3:00 to get my medicine and everything ready to go. This lady says, we have no cars. I'm not kidding. Go on my timeline, on my Twitter. I was going back and forth with an agent on my Twitter. I posted the people. I showed y'all all the people that was standing around, the whole nine. This one I can tell you about. I can show you that this happened in real time. So she's like, yeah, we don't have cars. Nobody's bringing our cars back. And I'm sitting there going, I've never heard that before. Right? It's 12 something now. So we're sitting there going, okay, what are we supposed to do? How long is the wait? The lady said about 2 to 3 hour wait time for a car. And I'm like, what in the, not only that, but it was 20 people ahead of us to get a vehicle. Everybody was just standing around waiting for a car to come in. And it wasn't just Dollar, I found out. Because I went over to Enterprise and was like, hey, is there any way we can get a car within the next, 45 minutes? They're like, we don't have no cars. How can you be a rental place and not have cars? It's not making sense to me right now. I was still coming down off my high dealing with Delta. And now I got this to deal with. Oh, I wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the mood today. Today is just not that day, people. Y'all got me on test. I'm down here to put my aunt to rest. I'm already feeling bad about that. And now I got all of this here crap that I gotta deal with. So we waited. All of a sudden the car shows up. They call out a name. I don't even believe they was even checking these cars. A car pull up, people was jumping in it, taking off. Car pull up, people jumping in, taking off. Because boneheads down there in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm going to tell the truth about the matter. I know people get mad at me, especially when I talk about black people. But almost every single car that came back to that lot to turn in, a black person got out of it. That is the truth. I saw that with my own eyes. I'm like, return the car. These people had no vehicles. They had no cars to give nobody because people was not returning the vehicles. That happened in real time. So we actually had to wait. It was an hour and 45 minutes before, almost 2 hours before we got a vehicle to be able to leave to drive to the hotel. It was crazy. Just to get down for me to go home to lay my aunt to rest. But on the way back, we ran into the same thing with Delta. They took my machine. So we get to the thing. The machine started going, started doing something goofy. And the thing about it is, it's my machine. If it would have been broke. So we went through a couple of cycles that it didn't work the way it was supposed to. But then it finally, I guess, fell into place by the end of the night. But I'm not done. But the noise this thing started making. So I got, and on the way home, Delta did the same thing. They would not honor the letter that we gave them that said this was a life-saving device. And they took it and they threw it with the general luggage and let it bounce around or whatever it did. So when I got home, like this morning, when I had to call Fresenius, that's the place where I get my dialysis, and had them run the numbers on there because one of my bags was completely full. So I did not get all of my treatment that I was supposed to get today. Now, we don't know if it's something to do with the machine or what. So that's what we're trying to figure out. But no, Delta received a very nice little email from me today. because of their practices and what they did on there. But we went down. We went through the storms. It was scary. I'm not going to lie. It was scary. Scary. I thought I'm out, but it wasn't scary enough for me not to go. It wasn't scary enough for me not to go outside to take a look in the sky to see if I can see a tornado somewhere. It wasn't that scary, but it was scary. It cracked me up because a little black girl, weather girl, was on I-40, and she could barely stand up. And the wind is just knocking her all over, everywhere, right? And it was that cracked me up when we was watching the weather. But I'm home. I'm back. Like I said, it was an adventure. It's the first time that we actually had the opportunity to travel with all the stuff now that we have to travel with, for me to go somewhere and the whole nine. So, but anyway, back here in Minnesota, I did ask a simple question. Let's rip it up. I asked a simple question, right? Now I'm gonna read some of this here stuff, right? That we, and I'm glad. No, don't get. Hold on. Let me do this here. Like I said, no answer is ever the right answer. That's just how I see it. It isn't, because everybody has something that they have to deal with or dealing with or going through. All right. So, what I wanted to know from people, I was been serious about this when I asked the question. If you can change something in Minnesota, what would you change? 99.9% of the people, it's the Democrats' fault, right? We need to change the Democrat. I understand that. I get that. That's kind of not what I was looking for, because to me, like I said before, we can get in this argument, and I like I told you, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to what I know. Both parties are full of. So you could. That's why I always tell you, I'm not going to tell nobody how to vote. I'm not going to tell nobody how to be a Democrat or how to be a Republican. I ain't about that. That's not what I'm about. But my book, the book that I read, the God that I serve, tells me it's the people that I should worry about. Because nowhere in my Bible that I read did it tell me to be a Democrat or did it tells me to be a Republican. But the book that I read every single day in there will tell me to take care of his people. He didn't say take care of Republicans. He didn't say take care of Democrats. He didn't say take care of independents, a libertarian. It's nowhere in my book is there that to be found. So I've got to honor my book, and I've got to honor the one who brought me through everything that he brought me through. That's what I honor. Now, if you want to be a Republican, be all the Republican you can be. If you want to be a Democrat, be all the Democrat you can be. But when you come to here, don't bring that over here. Don't. I ain't got time for you. I'm being dead serious. I don't have time for you. If you want to deal with me and you want to talk to me about what we can do for the people, what we can do for your kids, what we can do for your grandkids, if that's what you want to talk about, if that's how we want to roll with this here, I'm good. I'll talk to you about that all day. I got 2 boys here, 2 grown men. I got 3 grandkids. I know poor people that's out there that needs help. I know rich people out there who wants a change. I don't ask nobody. You have never, there is no place on the internet that you're going to find me talking about it's better to be a Democrat or it's better to be a Republican. You will never see me saying that. But what you're going to hear me say, it's better to be God's child than anything. It's God's child first. And if you want to run off and you want to, like I say, you want to be all that, go for it. But you ain't getting it from me. I ain't telling you what to be. Be who you want to be. Roll with your political beliefs however you want. If you sit there, because I've been through it, man. I've done all the stuff that everybody out there who are just getting into this, I've already done that. I've already voted for a Republican. First time I ever voted, Republican. And then Ronald Reagan did what he did, and I was like, I can't hang out with these dudes. George Bush did what he did. I'm done with him. So I go over there and hang out with Bill Clinton, and you know, Bill got his groove on. I was like, that's not the type of man that I could follow. Even though I was almost just as bad as Bill. I was still, you know, I was being a hypocrite. But I was like, can't follow Bill Clinton. Then Baby Bush gets in office. I'm all behind him, 110%. Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, boom, I'm in there. I'm in there. Then, you know, Bush started doing what he did, and then he didn't go down and see the black folks down there in Louisiana. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's not act like. Oh, guess I can't be a Republican no more. Got to go back over here to these Democrats. Went over there. Then Obama decided he's going to evolve and, yeah, same-sex marriage. Whoop, I'm out. Peace. Flew to, no. Can't hang out with the Democrats. So, you know what? The Tea Party bounced up. I'm going to go hang out with them now. I like what the Tea Party is about. They're a little bit of smooth with just enough radical for me. Just enough people who want to be, look, because I am kind of radical, to be honest with you. Just enough. They was just enough, had just enough of that edge on them. I'm there. I'm hanging out doing the Tea Party thing and ready to go. Government. Shake it up. Yeah, that's me. And then they got racist. And I'm like, man, I can't be nowhere. I can't be nowhere. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we just all get along? Why does it have to be this way? So I left the Tea Party alone. And I said from that point on, I'm going to be just me. And the more I read my Bible, the more it says to me, take care of my people. Didn't say, I need you to be a Republican. Tim, I need you to be a Democrat. Didn't say nowhere in there. I ain't never seen in the Bible. Somebody put and show me in the Bible where it tells me that I have to be a Republican or I have to be a Democrat. Please show me that. Because I can show you everywhere in the Bible where it says, take care of my people. I can show you all. Take care of the oppressed, take care of the poor, take care of the needy. That's what it says in my book. I don't know what it says in your book. Maybe it does say that. You are that Republican. Thou art a Democrat. Maybe that's what you all need to get by, to get along, to be part of this world, to be, y'all want to be part of. Look, this place ain't my home. I'm just a stranger. I realize that. But if you need the Democrats and if you need the Republicans to put your faith in, because you really don't have that deep faith like you call yourself a Christian. If that's what you need, go for it, bro. Ma'am, sir, go for it. I ain't mad at nobody on that. I'll talk to anybody. It doesn't matter. I don't care who or what you are. We can have the conversation any time of the week. I have people called me up, but hey, Rev, can I meet? Yeah, you can meet. Where you want to meet? I like to do breakfast because I'm a breakfast guy, but I'll sit down and I'll talk to anybody. I'm not gonna run away from somebody because they call themselves a mega. I'm not gonna run away from somebody because they call themselves a liberal. Because somewhere down the line, people, we all got to make this work, or we all fail. And that's the part that blows my mind. But I asked a simple question. I asked people, what would you want changed here in Minnesota? If we could change something. And I got some people said like this dude says. Scott said the entire government. He didn't say just some of it. He said the entire government. I agree. I agree. There's parts of the government and parts of what has been done here that needs to be done. He said the entire PJK said the entire overbloating corrupt government. Thank you. Exactly. Because, see, here's the funny part that gets me a lot of times. Now, we know the Democrats are screwed up. They have screwed the pooch. I think that's something even the Democrats here, if I was in a room right now with a group of Democrats and I said that, every Democrat in there should raise their hands. We know they won't, but they thinking it. They all think it. And the only reason they can't say it out loud, because if they did, then people would look at them and go, well, you're a Republican now? He said voter ID. I do believe at this point in time, we need voter ID. Amen. And if you hear these lying Democrats, black people got ID. If not, then you know what we'll do? We will make sure that we knock on every black person's door and we will ask them, do you have an ID? No, we do not. Okay, then we're going to take you down to DMV and we're going to get you an ID. But everybody in this state of Minnesota should have an ID. I remember growing up on base. You couldn't get on. On base. If you're a military kid, you had to have an ID. That ID got you on the base. It got you off the base. It got you in the commissary, in the 7-day store. It got you on the buses when you go to the beach and everything. I've had an ID. I've had an ID since 11 years old. My first ID I got from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. My dad was stationed on Camp Lejeune, North Carolina at 11 years old. Was the first time I remember ever having an ID, and my dad saying, everywhere you go, you have to take this. So black people having an ID, it ain't like you're asking for papers. So let's stop that crap. Boy, there's times I wish I could say some things, but I know I can't say those because I know how y'all are. Y'all can say it, but I can't. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean when I say crap. Hello. So when I hear that, when I hear white conservatives, white liberals talking about black people and having ideas like having papers, that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. There's no reason why we should not have ID. When you go into the voters go to vote, you need to hand them your ID. No ifs, no ands, no buts. No ifs, no ands, no buts. So I'm all for that. He's right. Voter ID, not just voter. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me back up. I'm not going to call it that crap. Voter ID. Everybody should, if you're going to go vote, you should have an ID. Period, point blank. It's not voter ID, but everybody should have an ID. So if the Democrats here in Minnesota is going to try to pull that, oh, woe is me because of the black people, that's a damn lie. I'll stand on it. I'll stand 10 toes on that. I'll look at any one of these Democrats. Well, I don't care if it's a black Democrat or a white Democrat. I'll look them dead in the face and tell them, stop lying. You're a liar. And we're not having it. You vote, you don't have an ID, you lose your right to vote. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. And if you don't like it, then don't vote. But in order, I think these kids, some of these kids, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, they should have IDs. They should be able to get, driver's license and things of that sort. So then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We don't have to worry about it anymore. We can just get it done with, and then we move on. A lot of people talked about that debacle of a flag that we got. Well, they were saying to me, somebody said to me, well, you can't change it, Rev, because they wrote a bill or something that says you can't. Really? I'll just make one like that and then add a tree. Hello? I'll add one tree on that very flag exactly like that. Are we changing it? That will be changed ASAP. But a lot of people were very, very upset about the flag. I don't like what that new thing that they got flying. I don't like what it looks like. I think it's ridiculous. Very, very much so ridiculous. So that was one of the big things that they always talked about. Yeah, and the governor. They talked about getting rid of him. That's our plan, is to get rid of him and let him go bye-bye on there. We also had there was a good one that somebody said about working together, which I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of DFL is, and I'm not really worried about the Democrats, to be totally honest with you. What I'm more worried about is how can we bring everyday common taxpayers, good citizens together to make a difference. Because see, if the people speak, and that's what I want to have happen. I want the people to speak. I don't want to speak for you. I want to speak with you. I want to know what's your gripes. What's the problem? We got a problem in school. The Republicans ran around here talking about cat boxes in school and stuff. I want to know what school has a cat box. What school? Because I'll go there myself and remove that type of stuff. That's school isn't for play. If you want your kid to dress up like a cat, dog, pig, horse, homeschool your kid. But we're not having that in school. That's not the furry, whatever that was going around. Homeschool them. That's not what public school is for. And it will never happen. So when Democrats talking about letting people run around with cat boxes in the school, I'll go to school myself. Tell me where it's at. Y'all don't know me well enough to know we'll do that. Dude said deport every leftist to Canada. Come on. See, is that type of stuff right there, right? Is that type? Come on. Really? That's why a lot of times you can't be serious. He said lower taxes and smart voters. Yep, I agree with that. He said want the DFL out of power. Okay, understood. From what they have done, I can understand wanting them out of power. There's the one. Here's the one that I've been talking about. I want to address. He said, close the revolving door at the jail and get rid of property tax. Matter of fact, I talked to Brad on last night, and we're going to be rolling some things out so you guys can read and understand what we're trying to do about property tax and tax altogether. So if you got a question, you got things of that sort, we can answer those. But the one that I want to address is close the revolving door at the jail. That is and has been a 3-year fight that I have been on. If you've been hanging out with me for that long, you know that I have been relentless at talking about getting places that we're not letting these kids go out and commit these crimes, and then the Democrats turn around and say, well, they didn't do it 3 times, so they should go free. I'm really talking about shutting. You go off and you do something wrong, you have to pay the price for it. There is no. All of a sudden, here you are, got 5 felonies, and then you're found with a gun possession on robbery or selling drugs, and then they dropped the gun. We're not dropping nothing. You will serve every term, every year that we give you for whatever. Let me see. 5 years for robbery, we're going to get you for that. Oh, you're a felon and you got a gun? 5 years for that? You're serving that. We're not dropping nothing. I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that nothing because that's how things work now. Oh, let's get the lesser plea. No lesser plea. You know what that's the thing that gets me about everything. You know what you was doing was wrong. You know that. But you did it anyway. And then when it's time to be accountable for what you did, now you want a lesser plea for doing something that you know you shouldn't have been doing. No, man. No, we can't do that no more. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. The problem is there hasn't been an example set yet. You notice I said yet, right? Problem is there haven't been an example set yet. Well, it's time we set an example. It's time for us to start saying no to things that we know. We have to say no to these things we know that is wrong, correct? I do believe so. Same thing with men. So I'm talking to my uncle. My one uncle, I was talking to my uncle. My uncle is Millington County Sheriff, right? Or however you say that. He's there in Memphis, in Millington, and he's a sheriff. Anyway. But I was telling him about how Minnesota has a situation where a man can sit there and say, I identify as a woman, so I should go to the woman, and he laughed. Now, we can't have that no more. I don't care what they say at the Capitol. I don't care what they say at the Capitol. We can't have that no more. No. If you was born Okay. Y'all mind it? Y'all mind if y'all mind? Is it all right if I just speak general? I just speak, general language right now. Here we go. If you was born and it wags, you know what I'm talking about. You can't go to a woman's prison. You say, but I cut it off, Rev. I don't care. I don't care. We're not doing it, and we're not having it. So we're going to make sure that we don't open any of those doors. Right? We're going to make sure that we don't open any of those doors. Because here's the thing. Like I said before, I knew that the situation was going to get out of hand because enough is never enough. Correct? You say, well, we want to be LGBT. Cool. Go for it. Do your thing, have your parades, hang out, do whatever you want. We want a civil union. Cool. Y'all want to be together, but it was not enough, right? Now, oh, well, we want to be married. Now, we want to go into women's bathrooms. We want to go into women's prison. When enough's enough. Done. I have nothing but respect for the LGBTQ community. Nothing but respect. Y'all want to hang out, y'all want to be together? Go for it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm trying to keep everybody safe. Nothing to do with that. But some of the things that's been done here in Minnesota because of the agenda the Democrats are pushing, I'm not having it. And that's not a Republican thing. And that's not a Democrat thing. It's the right thing. Correct? It's the right thing. And everything that I've said tonight, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, it's right. And I've said anything, I haven't used any Republican talking points. I haven't used any Democrat talking points at all. And tell me something that I've said tonight that you can disagree with. This is what I'm talking about. I don't have to be a Republican and I don't have to be a Democrat to understand people. When I took those Christmas presents to that white mom because she didn't have presents for her kids, I did not ask her if she was a Republican. When I took those Christmas presents to that black mom and that black father, did not ask him I don't care. But what I do care is we have a place that your kids can grow up in. What I do care is we have a place that if your grandparents have been here for I don't know how long, they've been in the same house for I don't know how long, they should have the right to if they want to pass away in that house, and they've been in that house for 30, 40 years, and we're going to tax them out. How is that right? Make me understand that part. Just that part that I just said now. They have raised kids in this house. They probably bought the house when they was first married. Raised kids, raised a family, done everything in it. And all of a sudden, they get to a point where they need a little bit of help. And then we're going to go in and push them out the door? We're going to put them in a senior living home and the only thing they want to do is stay in their house, but they can't afford it because they're taxing them like crazy? I want to fight that. I want to make sure they have their opportunity. If they want to go live in a senior citizen house, fine. But you know what? A lot of these seniors that I talk to sit there and go, I wish I had my house. I wish I was on my own. I wish I was on my own, had my own place back. Well, why don't you? Because I couldn't afford the taxes. I can't stay there and live on Social Security. Those people we should be taking care of. I would rather for my money to go to a senior who wants to live in their house, that you take a little bit out of my check to pay for some of them, than having my money over in Mogadishu, over in Somalia. I would rather have my money keeping a senior in than having my money stolen. Having my money giving to these nonprofits that I know don't do a damn thing. Make it make sense. That's not a Republican thing. That's not a Democratic thing. That's the right thing to do. You're gonna still take from me. What do we have? $18 million surplus? Think about this for a second. Some of that money could have went to some of these seniors who want to stay in their house. I want these seniors to stay in your house. Enjoy your last. This is it. Look, there's one thing that I don't care if you're black, white, orange, pink, blue, silver, polka dotted. There's one thing we all have in common. We're going to die. There ain't nobody under the sound of my voice right now that's going to live forever. We're going to get old, and we're going to look for someone to help probably take care of us or do something to help us get through this here. That's going to happen. That's a promise. If anything we're brothers and sisters in, it's death. Because that ain't stopping. And you can't stop it from happening. So instead of my money being stolen, instead of my money going back to some political party so they can put it in their pocket, I would want my money to go and help one of these seniors, some of these seniors who are being taxed out of their home, who need just a little help in their waning days. And again, I'll keep saying it. That's not a Republican thing. That's not a Democratic thing. That's just the right thing to do. They were talking about the Minneapolis City Council was talking about putting up these little bathrooms all over the city. My question on that was, who's going to take care of them? Because somebody has to clean them, number one. Number two, somebody's got to go chase the riffraff out of them, right? Because they're going to be doing drugs in them. They're going to be sleeping. They're going to be having sex. They're going to be doing everything in these things. And the reason they're doing this is because the people who live downtown, because there are the people who live downtown. There are a lot of people live downtown. They're complaining that the people who can't get to a bathroom is just literally pissing on side walls, literally taking dumps right there. And it stinks. There's time that downtown stinks. My thought was, get a street sweeper. Get one of them big cannons where you just go around, just clean it all up, and you'll be good to go. We don't have to invest in little homes for people to do things in. That money, you want to take some money and help somebody? Let's help these seniors who are being taxed the property tax are so high They can't afford to stay in their homes. And I'll say it again. That's not a Republican thing. That's not a Democratic thing. It's the right thing to do. Period, point blank. But anyway, fam, hey, am I past my time? Yes, I am. I'm like 5 minutes over. Well, I was late, so you got to give me at least 2 more minutes. You got to give me at least 2 more minutes because I've got to address something that happened today. So the Democrats and the city council got all these black people all up in a huff and a puff because there's money that's out there now. And the city council has the right to say yay or nay. So apparently they decided to say to a minister, well, we're not going to give you any money. And all hell broke loose. And this is what, and again, just goes to show you why I cannot be a Democrat anymore. Because I see what the Democrats do to black people. I see how they treat us. I see how they use us. That's why I can't speak victim. I just can't be a victim. That's why I don't push Democratic talking points. That's why I don't push anybody to go vote for the Democrats. That's why if I want to vote for a Democrat, then there's got to be something in it for me. I don't vote for a Democrat just because you tell me that Donald Trump is racist. You tell me Donald Trump is crazy. Now come vote for us. Well, y'all racist. Y'all crazy. No, I'm good. But they got all these black people down there fighting each other, warring over money, over who's going to get this little bag that they got down there. And those who don't get money gets mad at the ones who get money, and nothing gets done. This is what the Democratic, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. All them black Democrats are just sitting back laughing with these white liberals. They got their popcorn, laughing at these Negroes running around dancing. The massa got his head Negro sitting on the wagon, watching the other Negroes run around dancing, acting a fool, ready to fight each other. Literally, ready to fight each other. And the white liberal is loving it. Well, we got him. We got him, boss. Your black gatekeeper. Boss, they gonna about to start fighting, boss. Boss, watch what happens here, boss. Are you entertained, boss? Boss, but if you throw probably another $1,000 in there, another group is gonna show up, and then they gonna be fighting too, boss. Throw another one in there, boss. Let them go at it, boss. And the white liberal gets another $1,000 from who knows where, taxpayer, and they throw another $1,000 in there, and another group of black organizations show up, and they all fighting, and boss is just entertained. Boss man, you entertain watching these Negroes act a fool like this. That's the Democratic Party. That's what they do to black people. And we put up with it. That's the thing about it. We every time you turn around, they fighting for that little dollars that the white liberal find a way. And then boss man goes, well, where's my cut? Oh, don't think boss man ain't getting no cut of this. Come on. Boss man ain't about to give black folks nothing. And not look at all this fraud that's going. If y'all think, look, if y'all think that the only people that should be getting in trouble are just the brown people, y'all got another. Y'all know it too. That's the thing about it is you know it. You know as well as I do. But the only people that's going to get in trouble about this fraud are the brown people. Boss man ain't going to get in trouble. The one who got the money, who gave him the money, the one who never asked a question where the money is going, who the money is going to be spent on, how much of this money are you going to spend, that man. Why? Because he got his cut and he scrammed. He got his cut. So why do I care what you do with the money? Why do I care what else you do with the money? Yeah, I got my cut. I'm going to throw this here in the pile, and you Negroes go over there. And sure enough, us Negroes will run over there, and we down there at the city hall today, scrapping, ready to fight each other. Literally. Ready to go blows over the scraps that the boss man had put out there for us. And we'll do it too. We'll knock each other. Hell, we shoot each other all the matter of fact. So I go home to Memphis, right? And the wifey gets this thing up her butt that she wants to go down to Bill Street. I'm like, we ain't going to Bill Street. Every night, we was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Every night there was a shooting in Memphis. Every night. So Tuesday night, they had a shootout. I posted it. Go look on it. They had a shootout in North Memphis. Oh, my cousins live in North Memphis. Guess why I gotta go? But they had a broad daylight shootout. Broad daylight in North Memphis. Now I'm straight from hood. I'm from the Harold Projects. If anybody know, if you ever know Harold Projects, I grew up in between Shelby County, Harold Projects, and Millington. But I got cousins that live up in North Memphis. If y'all think, and the only thing I don't like about going home is I can't carry my firearm. They won't let me. I can't get licensed there in Tennessee. And people always talk about, oh, I can't believe you go down. I can't believe you're over in North Minneapolis like that, Rev. And you look, like I told y'all, go to North Memphis. It ain't got. I know everybody always think North Minneapolis is all this and bad and all. Y'all do some research on Memphis, Tennessee. Do some research on North Memphis. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because if y'all think walking through North Minneapolis is scary, don't go to North Memphis. You can walk through North Minneapolis with your eyes closed, blindfolded, versus going through North Memphis. Because they'll shoot you in North Memphis because they don't know you. In North Minneapolis, at least they ask you. They'll ask you, hey, you supposed to be over here? No. Well, I suggest you go about your business somewhere else or something's going to be taken care of. And then you can go. In North Memphis, they'd be like, we don't know you, pop how. They don't care. It's a difference. Minneapolis, they may care. North Memphis, don't care. And how long have that mess been going on over there in North Minneapolis? And you don't hear Peggy Fleming. You don't hear Governor Walz saying one word about the things that go on over there, about the shootings, about the killings, nothing. Because they don't care. They don't, once they're in office, they don't have to care. Now, what they do is, they go over there and they buy up a church. They'll give it a church over there. Look it up for yourself. They'll give a church $2 million. And that church is in their pocket now. The largest black church in North Minneapolis. I don't think I have to say the name. I'm just telling you. $2 million. Now, they done bought them a church. A couple black businesses that they can feel safe going to. So when they need a black business, they can pat themselves on the back about. There's a couple black business that the only place they ever go. Anytime they go to North Minneapolis, look at where they go. No, seriously. If they go to North Minneapolis, look at where they go. More than likely, they have bought that business. Anytime they need to pull a black business out of their pocket to say, hey, look at what we did for the black community, you best believe that business is pretty much bought already. On standby, just in case they get themselves in trouble with the black community. And they can go, whoa, wait a second. I gave this church $2 million, black folks. I gave this here, we've helped this business out to get it started and bought them the building, and we've given them $100,000 to get started, black folks. Don't mess with us. And then black folks go, yes, sir, boss. I hears you. Is there anything else you want me to do for you, boss? Yes, boss, I know you're Democrats, and we supposed to be good folks for you. And we sorry that we looked you in the eye, boss. Totally my fault. But, boss, what I ask you for is please don't break the whip out on me, boss. Don't. I'll never look you in the eye again, boss. That's it. That's the Democratic Party here in Minnesota. But yeah, they had us down there fighting, ready to knock each other out over a couple of pennies. It's pathetic. It's straight pathetic. But that's what we do. That's what we do. Anyway, fam. Hey, so like I said, I'm back in town. I know Brad will be going. I think he's at it. He was down in Rochester this weekend feeding some people. Brad's like that. So he was down there feeding some people. He's going to be going on vacation for a little bit, taking some time off. And then once he gets back, man, we're going to be all in you guys' face, asking you, what do you want to do with Minnesota? How should Minnesota be running? How can we make it change? How can we make a change and make it easy for you? But we're going to be in your face. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. But hey, fam, I am done. I'm finished for tonight. Sorry again. I've been trying to figure out what I did. So I'm going to blame myself. But I have been trying to figure out what I did to mess up my messenger thing here. I don't know what it is. I'm for sure I'm probably going to have to bring in one of them experts. That'd be my grandson or son to figure out what I messed up, because I cannot see you guys' comments on here, right? I got to read them off to get up over here, and I don't look over there that much, so I'm sorry if I missed you guys tonight. Totally my fault. But anyway, if you missed anything, again, you can go on my YouTube now. Check me out, right? Check me out. You can go on my YouTube and go over and go over whatever you miss, if what I said is important to you, right? But anyway, fam, let's get off of this thing. So we're going to do what we do every single night. We're going to always give praise to our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. We're always going to make sure that God knows that we love him, and our faith is going to go with him. Our faith is going to go with him no matter where we go, no matter what we say. Because what we do realize that we live in a world that we don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, or next week. Correct? But as long as we stick and stand through and for God, we realize that we have a God who said, I'll never leave you, I'll never forsake you. We have a God that when you done messed up and done something wrong, that's going to forgive you. I mean, mama don't do it, papa don't do it, brother don't do it, cousin don't do it, friends don't do it. Nobody else does that except for our God. You can mess up the worst. I know people sit there and go, I've done so many bad things. I don't ever think he's forgive him. Yes, he can forgive you for those things. And when you're going through it, he'll go through it with you. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. In that valley, there's a lily. God is that lily in the valley. Jesus is that help that's in the valley. All you have to do is give him your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul, and truly let him have it. Don't try to take it back. Don't try to change nothing. He loves you just the way that you are. But he's going to get that heart right. He's going to get that spirit right. He's going to get that soul right. And he's going to regulate your mind. And just for that alone, we all should be happy. And y'all know what we do. We smile at that, right? And then, people, we go and we smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Y'all have a good night. We will see you on Wednesday. Peace, fam. I'm out.